Imagine the universe as a silent ocean. A single capsule cuts through the void, fleeing the explosion of a world that has just died. In the canon, it would land on Mount Paozu and change the Earth forever. Not here. Here, the one who notices the capsule is not a farmer in a straw hat. It is the attendant of a bad-tempered god who just woke up with an itch for battle, Beerus. Beerus had dreamed again about the Super Saiyan god, worthy of drawing a genuine smile from him. Upon discovering that Frieza evaporated planet Vegeta, before he could hunt down this so-called legendary warrior, Beerus was furious and nearly disintegrated Frieza on the spot until he noticed the luminous trail of the capsule, the last Saiyan. What the universe does not deliver on its own, a god manufactures. Bring it, Beerus orders. And the destiny of Kakarot is rewritten. No mountain, no grandpa, no life-saving headbutt. Kakarot grows up in the backyard of a god of destruction, and the god does not educate. He is there to sharpen Goku. So Goku's childhood becomes a laboratory. Races in absurd gravity, lessons of stillness under a miniaturized comet rain from Whis. Keep fast to learn to feel the silence between atoms. When he fails, Beerus does not give speeches. He imposes pain so that Goku learns. Broken bones, healing, training, pain, healing, and training again. The perfect Zenkai cycle turned into an applied method. The boy learns the rules of the house quickly. Here, power is not a medal, it is a tool to get where you want. The scream of the Super Saiyan. Beerus says it is just noise. The glow of Super Saiyan 2. What nonsense. Super Saiyan 3, big hair and small brain. Kakarot understands the lesson as one who swallows glass. What the god wants is not another golden monkey, it is the divine polished with the goal of being worthy. Then Whis enters with his way of scolding, but while smiling. He trades all of Beerus's rage for technique, breathing that shrinks one's own presence field, steps that do not displace dust, fists that arrive before the decision. If you need to force it, you have not learned yet, he repeats. Months become years, and Goku dedicates himself to meet the expectations of this lazy cat, and in the silence of the dawn, the impossible happens without ritual, without 5 pure-hearted Saiyans. Kakarot, for the first time, touches the cold fire of the divine. His body calms, his spirit settles, the red hair emerges, everything falls into place. Beerus watches from the side, and for the first time does not mock Kakarot. While the heir of destruction is born, the Earth without Goku becomes a book of tragedies. Pilaf even plays dictator for the blink of an eye, but the one who takes over is the Red Ribbon Army, now operating as a police state with the technology of Dr. Gero, not the old man of the androids, but the engineer of autonomous weapons. Oppression and despair come together like heavy clouds, and the seal of King Piccolo cracks early. The old demon does not find a boy with a magic staff. He finds tanks, drones, and reduces them to scrap with a snap of his fingers. Now he maintains order through terror and becomes a king who rules through fear. But that fear is fertilizer for dark magic. Babidi smells it from afar and arrives with Dabura, and when he arrives, he notices the misery. With nobody to interfere, he sticks the needle that awakens Majin Buu in his cruelest version. An entire planet begs and explodes. Buu, Kami, Yajirobe all become memories. Gero does not live to create Android 17. Future Trunks will never exist. The timeline breaks without making any sound. Back on Beerus's planet, the divine student receives his first mission, the cleanup. There is no poetry in the term. There is a tyrant disturbing my peace, you know the name. Kakarot does not travel to planet Namek, does not play ego duels, does not let the fight drag on. With the instant transmission taught by Whis, he appears inside Frieza's ship. 2 gazes cross, the one of the forever conceited emperor and the one of the Saiyan who learned to kill intentions before strikes. Without screaming, without transforming, he erases the special forces like someone blowing out candles. For Frieza, just one sentence. Your power is great, but wasted. A thin beam of ki turns the rest to dust. Beerus smiles from the corner of his mouth. Whis registers it mentally. It worked. The final test, the call comes from above. The Supreme Kai trembles. Buu has been playing bowling with galaxies. It is the chance to test the blade that was sharpened. Kakarot descends with the serenity of someone who has already hidden his hand. Buu regenerates. Kakarot observes. What explodes, Buu recomposes. What cuts, Buu softens. Until the Saiyan changes the question. What if instead of hurting, I undo? Then he molds his ki with the texture of a Hakai. Not Beerus's signature, but a concept learned the hard way. An energy that does not explode, it erases from existence. Buu then screams, and his scream simply returns no sound. The title, The Strongest Below Beerus and Whis, falls into Kakarot's lap. He, for his part, does not celebrate. He was not taught that. Beerus does not applaud either. Instead, he tightens the screw. You are not a mortal boy, you are my project, grow or disappear. That message was not a metaphor. In the mind of the god, time runs fast. Years become pages that turn on their own. And on one of those pages, far away, Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz occupy the ruins of Frieza's empire, with planet Namek as their provisional capital, Porunga as a sort of central bank, and the self-proclaimed king gathers the Dragon Balls and buys what no training guarantees, immortality. He wants to one day set settle the score with the faceless ghost who killed his master. Kakarot, for his part, feels for the first time something that did not come from an order, his own purpose. Surviving has already become too little. Getting stronger would require a rival, and there is a rumor of a demonic energy lurking on Namek alongside 3 Saiyan signatures far below the minimum tolerated. Whis raises an eyebrow, Beerus shakes his head. The time has come to see if this sharpened blade truly does not break. Namek has never been so silent. Without Frieza's glow, what burns now are 3-tailed shadows, Raditz, Nappa, and above them a throne that does not age, Vegeta, the immortal king. Porunga has become the sovereign's luxury secretary, and the Namekian villages pay tribute with labor and silence. There is no Gohan to make friends with, no Krillin to balance the scales with compassion. There is only order through fear until Kakarot lands. Whis senses 4 presences, 3 Saiyans, and something sour, a smell of ancient magic dripping in the depths of the Kiai. Beerus orders him to proceed. The herald of destruction descends like a silent meteorite. Raditz tries a speech about family. Nappa tries barrack intimidation. Kakarot tries nothing. He measures, concludes, and erases. 2 less marks on the map, without transformation, without any noise. The echo of it calls Vegeta. He arrives without haste, wrapped in a pride that never dies. Literally, a thin smile, a wish on the tip of his tongue, to prove that immortality can also be authority. The first clash is instructive. Kakarot kills as one who tests a magic button. Vegeta then comes back laughing again. The second is drier, the third humiliating. Then a series of rebirths end up becoming the rhythm of the battle. The Herald of Destruction understands the toy. Each return brings Vegeta a little stronger. Kakarot offers a perverse pact. I will kill you as many times as needed until you are worth something. The king grits his teeth. After all, power without risk transforms into a prison. That is when the air trembles. A circle of runes. A tongue that was not born anywhere. The sorcerer Goma tears the sky of Namek and calls Porunga as one who turns a doorknob. He does not want power, he wants humiliation. Turn this warrior into a child. The light vanishes, the muscles retract, the hair recedes, and Kakarot shrinks. The divine key, bound by a rule he never signed, is suppressed, and Vegeta laughs out loud. So this is the so-called herald of destruction. Goma, however, forgot the basics. When you remove the lid, what was trapped leaps out. Without the cold fire of the gods, all that remains is the primal instinct. And it is in that instinct that Kakarot had been training in secret. Like someone keeping a dry match in his pocket, that little child body covers itself in crimson fur. The entire arena freezes. It is Super Saiyan 4, not merely an appeal to the past, but a shortcut through savagery. What comes next is not a fight, it is a lesson in scale. Goma tries seals, hurls curses, summons shadows, but Kakarot cuts through everything with surgical precision, as if that new body had been made for this. The demon falls. The spell undoes, cracks heal, and Porunga receives another wish. Return the Herald of Destruction to his adult form. Not out of vanity, but out of protocol. Beerus would not tolerate the form he despises. Kakarot knows it. Vegeta, still panting from accumulated rebirths, tastes the edge of death once more, as the Saiyan raises a key that resembles Hakai. He does not get to fire it. Whis places his hand on the student's shoulder. Change of plans. Rumors fly faster than ships. Belmod from Universe 11 has heard of a mortal who carries the weight of a god. He then proposes a little game that pleases the most demanding audience in existence, Zeno. The Tournament of Power comes to life. Beerus needs a team. The first name is inevitable, Kakarot. The second, an irony he swallows hard. Vegeta, immortal. Fear is a spice you do not have, my king. You will learn it the hard way. The board is set. The arena is born from nothing, surrounded by gods who whisper like children before a play. Zeno swings his little legs. The Grand Priest smiles without showing his teeth. Belmod pokes. Are these your fighters? Beerus, a soulless puppet, and a king who hides behind a wish. Beerus returns only the gaze. Those who have lived eras learn to keep silent until the bell. The fight begins. Vegeta stays at the edge, arms crossed, pride intact, the immortality of cheap courage. Kakarot closes his eyes in the middle of chaos. He does not defend a universe or friends. He only fulfills his function, to locate the strongest. On the other side, the pride troopers spread across the board. Toppo, with his sense of justice, falls upon the king and instantly kills Vegeta. An instant later, flesh, bone, and pride return. How do you defeat someone who cannot die? He taunts. Toppo does not fear. He gets irritated. Dispo tries the shortcut with his speed beyond light and 1,000 strikes per breath. Kakarot does not blink. Trained by an angel, his body acts before the decision. He captures the speedster by the ankle, bends the joints where physics asks for permission, and throws him out of the arena without transforming, without screaming. He teaches that speed without reading becomes just a crude noise. The stage changes its light. Jiren opens his eyes, not out of surprise but recognition. He is the wall that Kakarot had been searching for since childhood. The Herald of Destruction ignites, the red of the god appearing. The strike that shakes the stadium is stopped with just one finger. Kakarot, for the first time since Beerus' planet, finds a no. Beerus trembles with rage. Useless. Such is your limit, says Jiren. Whis, however, holds back. Weapons show their edge when they are about to break. Jiren speaks little and hits true. Your strength is a shell. You do not fight for anything. Each word enters where no punch can. Goku never had will, only orders. The giant covers the arena with a raw blast and pushes the herald of destruction into the abyss. As he falls, a flash tears through his memories. Hurried hands, a capsule, parents who chose hope inside the end. The rage does not come alone, it comes blue. The body stops in midair and returns like an arrow. Super Saiyan Blue. His strikes now carry soul. Jiren responds by climbing an invisible step and the arena sings. In the corner, Vegeta watches. He does not feel fear of death. He cannot. He feels envy of the risk. Jiren is a mortal who rose higher than the gods. He, a king, neither falls nor rises. The immortality that was once a trophy is today a shackle. You do not fall off the edge of a cliff when the cliff has a net. The clash of Kakarot versus Jiren reaches the breaking point. A serious punch from the bold fighter erases the blue and leaves Goku on the ground, almost empty. From the stands, Beerus growls, "Show everything, boy," and the memory opens another door. The old training, a sharp pain, an instant in which the body acted on its own and scratched the face of a god. Kakarot's gaze turns silver. His aura changes texture. Goku's answer is Ultra Instinct. What follows is the dance of blade against blade. Jiren pushes the universe and Kakarot slips through his cracks. Strikes that do not come from the mind, they come from the body, and the body seems to hear a song that nobody else hears. The final shock throws both of them off the stage. Kakarot falls eliminated, and so does Jiren. Before the void can take him, the Herald of Destruction does the accounting, takes whoever he can along. Toppo as a luxury bonus and proud pawns. He clears the path so that only one remains, the king, who does not die. And Vegeta wins the tournament, being ironically the weakest among the greats. The Grand Priest announces the end. The Super Dragon Balls glow, and Zeno awaits the wish like one who awaits dessert. What will Vegeta wish for? Beerus adjusts his collar. He already has what he wanted, the spectacle, the conviction that his weapon has one more stage. He recognizes his pupil for the first time. A silent exchange of respect. He is ready to spend the wish on something that will earn him laughter for centuries. But Vegeta speaks first. The voice comes out low and broken. "I wish to be mortal again. The universe holds its breath. The giant dragon does not judge, it only fulfills. The immortality undoes itself." The king closes his eyes for a second, like someone feeling temperature again. He wants fear, adrenaline, pain, not out of masochism, but out of measure. Strength that cannot fail never stops being just a rehearsal. Beerus does not know whether to laugh or to fume. Whis smiles from the corner, and Kakarot looks down from above, all beaten up, and for the first time does not despise. The king who clung to a wish now smells of potential. The rivalry is born where before there was no oxygen. A new promise is born. Among the ruins of the stage, two Saiyans face each other with a longing they do not yet know. The longing for a fight that makes sense. One day, they say with a nod, and the board rearranges the pieces. Back on Beerus's planet, the uniform changes. The Herald of Destruction receives a divine garment, not as a prize, but as a label. Now everyone knows what he is. The god, for his part, learned something uncomfortable. The limit he saw was not yet the last. Ultra Instinct was not summoned, it only escaped. Vegeta, now mortal, once again feels the razor's edge, and each training is a risk. Each fight has consequence. He does not have the comfort of infinity, but he has back the growth that finitude provides. The crownless king begins to transform into the warrior who may one day draw the smile that Beerus wanted since his very first nap. Far away, echoes of another story, the brute born from the roar of Broly. Rumors begin. A sorcerer of space, the one who plays at devouring galaxies, now learns to spell the name of Kakarot, and there are whispers of grey morality coming from a prisoner who eats planets to pay promises to those who call him Moro. But that is another ocean. For now, what matters is that the baby who fell on the wrong planet inaugurated the worst and the best version of himself at the same time. Worst for the mortals who cross his path, and best for the story that is yet to be written.